Hi friends, hope everybody is doing great on this Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. This is my PA HorrorCon haul. I got some stuff while I was at the convention. Really just went to get a picture with Michael Berryman because he was at another convention last year. I wasn't able to go. A friend got his autograph for me, but I wanted to meet him in person, so I got some photos taken with him. And, of course, saw Felissa and Scout and R.A. Probably three of my favorite guests to meet, that I have met, that I continually see. But I want to jump right into my purchases. Let me make sure I have business cards here so I can give shout outs to the businesses I purchased from. I apologize for all of this today. I'm not feeling very well, so I'm just trying to hang out at home so that I feel better and can do the damn thing this weekend. So let's start off with coffee. Who doesn't love coffee? Crazy people. Coffee gets me through my day. Helps when I have a headache. So I bought 3 bags of coffee from Deadly Grounds. Their website is www.getdeadly.com. They're out of Norwalk, Connecticut. I had samples both days I was at the convention, and I also had samples at New Jersey HorrorCon. They will also be attending Monster Mania in Cherry Hill next weekend. Well, this weekend, starting Friday, March 11th. So the coffee I got maple walnut. It smells amazing. Very excited to try this one. I did get a chance to sample the Irish cream, which was fantastic. Also their house blend, which was good. They have a Cadbury Scream Egg, which is seasonal for Easter. I had the opportunity to try that, as well as the Highland Zombie Grog, which I'm probably most excited for because I've had grog coffee before, Highland Grog, and it was not good. It was really chemically. I didn't particularly care for it. So this is a buttery rum and cinnamon blend, and it's delicious. It's a lighter roast, but it tastes freaking phenomenal. And of course, because I'm super basic, I got pumpkin spice. I've had, different brands of pumpkin spice coffee before, and it's always been chemical. So after tasting the Highland Zombie Grog and it being more natural flavors, I decided to get the pumpkin spice. So yeah, that is from Deadly Grounds, getdeadly.com. And Tom Lialios, maybe, is the owner and chief coffee addict, and he's a really nice guy. Him and his wife are fantastic. So get you some freaking coffee. Next is I purchased a t-shirt first and then a sheep's head from Gratuitous Productions. I spoke with Anne, and I believe the man is Dave. He's the one that I believe makes everything, and she is basically the one that runs everything, it seems. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but this is Gratuitous Productions. And first, I got a t-shirt from them. It was here, and the reason I bought it is because of what it says in the back. Who doesn't love blood, boobs, and Satan? I know I do. So I purchased that, and then that was on Saturday, and then the next day I went back to the table and realized that he had taxidermy, and I'm trying to get myself a collection of oddities. I actually have a piece of a female uterus, a human uterus, coming to me in the mail, and some really cool looking keys. So this is my newest addition, Sebastian. I think that he's amazing. The craftsmanship is fantastic on this little guy. Looks like his nose is moist. It looks like he has like runny eyes. I'm super, super excited about this purchase. And both of the Anne and Dave, I hope that's the right name, were super nice. They were fun. I really enjoyed talking to them, and I'm super excited to own Sebastian the sheep. So that is from Gratuitous Productions. Again, here's the card. And they have an Instagram. It's gratuitous_productions. Their YouTube is... not sure. I'll just show the YouTube channels down here on the bottom. And I actually was tagged in one of their Instagram posts holding Sebastian. So there's that. Oh, and they were giving out pins and stickers, and they were just a really good couple of people. So yeah, shockingly, I know everyone's surprised by this, but I bought books. The first book is Verum Malum, and it is by Michael R. Collins. It's a simple story of love, life, and the inevitable trip to hell to save your husband's soul from eternal torture. Life is getting better for Ben and Noah until people from Ben's past come calling, making him realize one does not dabble in infernal rituals and human sacrifice without paying a price. These people worship something far worse than the devil, and a place far worse than hell, the Verum Malum. Now Ben and Noah must survive the murderous attempts to bring him back into the fold, leading them into the malevolent heart of the Malum itself. I liked the cover. I thought it looked cool. I always try to buy at least one book from an independent author when I go to conventions. This is Midnight in the City of the Carrion Kid by James G. Carlson. There is a city that occupies the space between life and death. Once a wondrous realm, it has been corrupted by a malevolent presence known as the Carrion Kid, a demon that crossed over on the soul of a young boy. Now, guided by a talking cat, a chosen few must come together to restore light, safety, and sanity before it's too late. This includes Alistair and Eden, a newly arrived couple in a ragtag group of survivors who reside in a subterranean lair called Haven Below. But bringing about a new dawn in this strange and terrifying place is an undertaking that will test their bonds and cost some of them dearly. Again, Michael and James were at tables next to each other. So I think I bought all of the books that Michael had, and most of the books, a copy each, I guess, of the ones that James had. This one is also from James G. Carlson, and it is The Ever-Descending Staircase. In an old warehouse in Pennsylvania, a dark and terrible secret is shown to a researcher of spiritual phenomena. Monsters roam the wilds of America, all spawned by a strange being whose cycle of breeding, feasting, and nesting is interrupted by a small-town police officer, a cyber investigator, and a revenge-seeking father. A teenage boy without family or a home encounters tragedy and horror in the snowy woods, where the threshold between human reality and the impossible is guarded by an unlikely creature. At a seedy dive bar, while teetering on the edge of sanity, an afflicted alcoholic meets a stranger who changes his life forever. A pregnant veterinarian at a Wyoming zoo has an unexpected meeting with an infernal presence. A man trapped in a bizarre and lonely afterlife regrets his suicide. A grieving widower learns that even a selfless wish from the heart can end in a horrible fate when asked of cosmic entities beyond human reason and understanding. Seems like this is a book of short stories. All of those things sound different. So, I read in an old warehouse in Pennsylvania and bought it, decided to buy it because I live in Pennsylvania. This one is from Michael R. Collins, called In Shadows of the Wicked. Jeremy and Reggie Mayer watched their mother die at the ethereal hands of 3 terrifying phantoms. Now they live their lives as best they can, outrunning the memory and hoping to put enough distance between them and their tormentors. Unfortunately, the family won't be kept away so easily. They have plans for the brothers and their friends. Plans that include Floyd, a middle-aged man who befriends young Reggie in an attempt to bring the boys back home. Floyd, obsessed with classic industrial music, has different ideas and wants to suck the others into his own twisted world of darkness. As the family escalates their attacks on the brothers, no one is safe. In their efforts to rid themselves of the spreading evil, Jeremy and Reggie will find themselves in places that blur the lines of reality as well as life and death. And it was a big book. And I like big books, and I cannot lie. And then this is another one from Michael R. Collins called Some Scary Stories. Take a ride in someone's head as they try to survive the rigors of a demonic exorcism. Step back in time as a young Puritan lad is tempted by the children of the forest. Find out what it's like to be haunted by a spirit that both loves and hates you. Go on an innocent date that ends up opening the gates of hell here on earth, and much more. Dim the lights, settle in. It's time for some scary stories. And finally, this is Christopher Michael Blake, Pray for Dawn. Wallingford Plantation is a place haunted in history, forgotten in the annals of time, and abandoned since the atrocities committed there during the Civil War. But the horrors occurring at Wallingford Plantation have just begun as a private detective searches for a woman's missing sister and husband. A cheating wife plots to kill her husband. 3 nomad gang members chase 2 men searching for lost Confederate gold. In one night, these people will come together and traverse through an elaborate labyrinth of tunnels hunted by murderous cannibalistic creatures. All of these people will endure a night of terror and horror while fighting for survival. They will pray for escape. All pray for dawn. Says that he's working on a second novel. I spoke with him and his wife for a bit, and they both were incredibly nice, and I'm very much excited to read this book. I feel like anything involving the Civil War, especially any kind of ghost story, whether it be nonfiction or fiction, is incredibly interesting, especially if it is like a historical fiction thing where he takes pieces of, things that actually happened and turns it into, some fiction. And then I have photos, which, so I really only have 2. So this print was given to me at, is it James G. Carlson's table? Yes. He had a couple prints to choose from, and I thought this nun print was really creepy. So I decided to grab that one. And then this was from a subscription box that my friends got, and they don't like the movie Hereditary, but I did. So I asked them if I could have it, and they were like, take it, because neither one of us liked the movie. And then one of my best friends, Alyssa, grabbed this print for me at Mad Monster in North Carolina a couple weekends ago. Hellraiser is my favorite franchise. Pinhead is my favorite horror character, and I absolutely adore this print. And finally, Alyssa and I got a photo op with Felissa Rose of Sleepaway Camp fame. And while I hate my face in this photo, I'm going to share it anyways because the other two women in the photo are insanely beautiful, and I'm very lucky to call them friends. If we could just do this, I would be very happy to have this photo. And that's all for me, folks. I do have a couple other books back here. I got a couple gifts. I got Shiver, Junji Ito, graphic novel. If you haven't read any of his stuff, it is beautiful body horror, and I absolutely adore it. These are 9 of his best short stories. He selected them, and they're presented with notes and commentary. So I'm very much looking forward to reading this, and his artwork and his, like I said, the body horror. Like if you just turn to this random page, it's just, even in black and white, is glorious. And then this was sent to me from someone in my one of my Facebook gifting groups, Merfolk by Jeremy Bates. It says, "They're real and deadly. A renowned marine biologist's search for creatures known only in myths and legends turns deadly when the hunters become the hunted." He has volumes of books called The World's Scariest Places, and they're fiction, but they're set in the Suicide Forest in Japan, the Catacombs in Paris, Helltown in Ohio, Island of the Dolls in Mexico, Mountain of the Dead in Russia, and the Hotel Chelsea in New York City. So I have all of those on my wish list. And actually, I didn't even open this. This is my book of the month, which is, I can't even remember. It's by Simone St. James, and it's her newest book. And I feel like it's the big book of cold cases. Book of cold cases, not the big one. The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. I read The Sundown Motel. I can't remember if it's a Sundown Motel or Hotel by her. And it was so good. Definitely was interesting and different. So this is about a true crime blogger who gets more than she bargains for while interviewing the woman acquitted of 2 cold case slayings. In 1977, Claire Lake, Oregon, was shaken by the Lady Killer murders. 2 men, seemingly randomly, were murdered with the same gun, with strange notes left behind. Beth Greer was the perfect suspect, a rich, eccentric 23-year-old woman seen fleeing one of the crime scenes, but she was acquitted and she retreated into the isolation of her mansion. Oregon, 2017. Shay Collins is a receptionist, but by night she runs a true crime website, The Book of Cold Cases, a passion fueled by the attempted abduction she escaped as a child. When she meets Beth by chance, Shay asks her for an interview, and to Shay's surprise, Beth says yes. They meet regularly at Beth's mansion, though Shay is never comfortable there. Items move when she's not looking, and she could swear she's seen a girl outside the window. The allure of learning the truth about the case from the smart, charming Beth is too much to resist, but even as they grow closer, Shay senses something isn't right. Is she making friends with a manipulative murderer, or are there other dangers lurking in the darkness of the Greer house? So, even though I'm in the middle of the A Court of Thorn and Roses series, I'm actually on book 2. It's daunting. It's this big. It's huge. I might read this next because I loved the Sundown Motel Hotel Holiday Inn. And I was really much looking forward to The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. So that's all for me. Let's see what bookmark I got. They send a little bookmark in the book of the month. It says the book of the month. New books, same laundry I'm not folding. Now, because for these past 2 weeks I've just been packing a suitcase and running off to stay with friends. So this time, that's really all from me. I hope everyone has a great rest of your week, and I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.